Welcome to class. We're going to nourish ourselves in today's practice. So let's begin by making sure that our beginning seat and breath work position is comfortable. You can sit in cross-legged or kneeling or up on a chair even. If you have that cross-legged or side sit, whatever you want, make sure that your sits bones are evenly placed on a blanket and you've got a nice lift to your pelvis, which allows better alignment for your spine. So let's take that seat, just take a moment to settle into that place, your place on our lovely globe, and find those sits bones. If you're on that blanket, sit on the edge of the blanket and then rub the hands together, warm yourself up, and then place the hands, healing hands on the lower back, and just noticing that you have a curve there. If you don't have a curve there, you'll want to sit up higher on that blanket. And we'll spend a few moments here with breath work and neck work. So find a nice anchor for yourself. Take the hands to the thighs. And we'll close the eyes, coming into our entryway to practice through the breath, through the observation of the breath. Beginning to notice the quality as we take our practice transition from whatever activities we've been doing before or what we plan to do after, come into this present moment together by noticing our breath. The constant breath that's always with us. And as you begin to witness the breath, let's see if you can influence it a bit with a yogic breath. This is a conscious breath. So we're today doing the Sufi mother's breath in honor of just nourishing ourselves and nurturing. So on the inhale, it's a visualization practice. So you visualize someone who either you've taken care of that brings care out of you, that sense of caring, or towards you, a person who's cared for you. And on the exhale, allow a complete sense of well-being to just flood your body. Keep that visualization of a kind caretaker in mind. And then exhale out all the way to your fingertips and your toes, a sense of nourishing well-being, of settling into wherever you're at right now, into your present moment. Let's do 5 rounds of breath, seeing if that sense of being cared for affects your body. So keep the eyes closed and notice if any of these visualizations help your body settle and relax. Positive endorphins. Fill the belly and make a complete exhale. Notice on the inhale, after that complete exhale, you're able to take more breath in. And then an even better release on the exhale, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. Feeling that imprint of your seat on the mat. Coming to our breath and influencing the breath can also influence our mindset, influence our mood so much about the body just by simple breath. On the next exhale, allow the fingertips to float to the mat and place those fingertips on the mat in our spider hands. As you press those fingertips, feel that tendril roots out of each fingertip into the earth. So we're allowing a rising sense through the spine just by that extra support beside you. Inhale, feel the crown of the head reaching taller. And exhale. Find the root. Inhale again. Grow taller. Feel the shoulders roll away from the ears. Exhale out any tension that you might find lingering in the body. Inhale again. Exhale it out and then flutter the eyes open. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Bring them into prayer positions. We feel that rise through the side bodies and then make that trace the line down the center so we really can locate our center line, personal line through the exhale, past the face, down to the heart, down all the way towards our center, that solar plexus, navel center. And then we'll take those fingertips beside us again. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, turn the neck. And we'll take our chin over towards the right. Noticing maybe some tight spots on the way. We'll address those as we repeat. So let's go to the left. Exhale. Nourish the neck. Inhale through center. Let's look over to the other side. And rest here on the right side. Inhaling and exhaling, dropping the shoulders away from the ears and then reaching that chin towards the right shoulder. Trace a line along your collarbone down towards your heart. Feeling the drop of your head, that weight of the head helping you stretch the back of the neck. On your next inhale, we'll bring that gaze up, turn over to the left. And then reach that chin towards the left shoulder and see how you feel those fingertips on the other side, rooting you down all the way up the arm, and then trace that line back into the heart. Spend an inhale and an exhale here, just gazing down. And then the next inhale, like a floating sense up, so we can just look up at the sky. Keeping that jaw relaxed and the gaze relaxed too. And then look forward and we'll bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Press through the left fingertips. On your next inhale, the left ear comes towards the ceiling. And then exhale, see if you can release just a little bit more. Beginning at the top of the body here, communicating to the whole spine. Take your right hand, help that head up on the right ear, just seeing if you can rise up. Exhale, bring the hands down and take the left ear toward left shoulder. Feel the rise of your right ear towards the sky on that inhale, and on an exhale, left ear releases towards the left shoulder. This neck ritual, fantastic for an everyday relief to all of our strain. Let's take the left hand to left ear, help your head up, already feel that freedom. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. We'll take a gentle twist. So from this prayer position above the head, you can fly the arms out, begin to turn to the right towards the right knee, and then bring the fingertips down. As you maybe gaze over that right shoulder, inhale back, point up towards the sky, exhale. Let's bring those fingertips down to the left. And then sweep on up to the sky. We'll do that again. And then back up through center and to the left. And then reach up again, really feel the right and the left side bodies stretching, excellent. And then take the palms forward and we're coming into our cactus hands. So cactus elbows. Right angle, keeping the elbows nice in line with the shoulders. Lift the shoulders up to the ears. Inhale, exhale, drop the shoulders towards the earth. And then with the sternum, let's turn over to the right again. Just taking that strength from within to make that twist. And exhaling back. Inhale through center, exhale, look to the other side. So we're feeling those deep core muscles guide the body into the twist. Great. And then drop the hands down towards the floor, hang the hands like laundry on a line, and then back up again. Thumbs behind you this time, pinkies up. And feel that glide in the shoulder blades, just noticing the sensation there. Come down again. Inhale as the arms come up, elbows back, pinkies up towards the sky, broadening the collarbones, taking our time. dropping again. Allow the body to take its time getting there, wherever there is, and then come back up into our cactus hands. Anytime you need to change the cross of the legs, if you're in that cross-legged, feel free to do so, whatever your body tells you to do. And then we'll take the thumbs behind us again. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, bring those forearms together in this delicious release for the shoulders. Press the pinkies together, the forearms together. Watch the elbows as they rise up towards the sky, pointing up towards the clouds. And then exhale, open up like a curtain. When you feel ready, back to our cactus. Close those doors again. Inhale that up. Find the breath that eases this movement through those shoulder sockets. Again. And keep your gaze nice and soft. And then we'll bring the elbows this time down to the ribs and then the palms up towards the sky. So just feeling that broadness again across the collarbones as you bring those palms up. That can often be a great way to rotate those shoulders from rounding forward. And reach the arms out and then bring them back into the ribs and then out again. Inhale up, wingspan, exhale, palms up, elbows in. One more time, reach out, exhale, elbows in. Beautiful. Let's bring the wrists and hands forward and we'll just turn the imaginary faucets. Feel that loose, nice stretch in and release in your fingers. They're carrying a lot of the energy and the tension, especially as we type. And then we'll wave to each other across the airwaves and then on up to our hallelujah, up to the sky. Look up at your hands. Exhale, bring those arms forward as if you're just finger painting on a wall in front of you. And then bring those hands down to your thighs, even if you're in cross-legged. This is really kind of a cross-legged position, but you can also do it from kneeling. So we're going to keep the hands on that the thighs, so it's that sense of grounding. And then we're going to keep the gaze soft as we slide the left hand towards the left knee, just in front of the left knee, and then look at your left shoulder as you slide that hand underneath the knee. Exhale, inhale back up. And then we'll slide the right hand underneath the right knee and look down the arm, that long length of the arm, bringing the chin to the right shoulder, other side again. Just make this nice and fluid. Feeling that bend in the hips as you do this. Back up. And then over one more time. And then slide on back up to that tall position. And now we're going to recline and really get into some nice shoulder rotation. It's a little trick that you can do to get those shoulders extra open if you're feeling like you're really rounding forward. So let's take the soles of the feet to the mat and then ease ourselves down with the hands down to the floor. From here, make sure the base of the skull, the back of the skull is in line with the sacrum. And you've got the knees hip width apart. Great. And then we're going to reach the arms next to the ears and just feel that length through the side body here in this position, inhaling into that belly. Again, that sense of nourishing yourself. Envision someone who's cared for you. Exhale out. Communicate to all those cells that they're well cared for. And then sweep the arms down towards the floor again. And this time, we're going to take the palms up towards the sky. On the right side, take the right palm up towards the sky. And then reach the right arm up above you as if you're trying to touch the clouds. And then bend the right elbow and bring the fingertips next to your right ear. Okay. So now this is that rotation guide. So you're going to take that left palm and left fingertips to the outside of your right upper arm. So it's the upper arm towards the shoulder. If you have any confusion, just look on up here. I'm wrapping my hand around my right upper arm and I'm keeping my fingertips on the right side tented. So there are spider hands. We'll be using a lot of spider hands today. And then I'm gently guiding the skin of my upper arm out towards the right. So rotating out towards the right. And I do this gently, just grabbing in and then rotating out with my hand. You can kind of see my action up here, grabbing into the inner arm and then wrapping around. Continue this wrapped. So once you've wrapped that skin around and you feel that plugging into your shoulder blades, you can feel free to walk the fingertips, those nice spider fingertips, up above the crown of the head towards the top of the mat. Only go a couple of inches and then wrap that skin of the upper arm again. And then try walking a little further, but make sure it's gradual so that you're not forcing some rotation into your shoulder that might be, not be beneficial. This should feel like a great plugging in of your shoulder socket, as well as some more fluidity in your shoulders. Okay, try again and see how far you get. Again, no striving to make your arm straight or anything. Just a nice way to plug your arm in and rotate it in a way that's counteracting some of this hunching we do. And release the hold on the upper arm, and then you just allow the left hand to drop next to the body and walk those fingertips back on the right, sweep that arm up towards the sky and bring it down. We'll take the other side, take the left palm up towards the sky, reach up towards those clouds, and then bend the left elbow, bring the fingertips tented up spider style next to your left ear. Now take your right hand and take the outside of your left upper arm and see if you can just rotate that skin outward. Your fingertips are facing inward towards your face, and you're just rotating. Now begin to walk the fingertips up towards the top of the mat. See how that feels. Check in. The whole while, you want to keep those shoulders rolled away from the ears. Try it again. Walk a little further. And wrapping around. And then seeing just what feels comfortable, how far you want to go. But that guiding of the skin outward can really echo inward to the inner arm, to the socket, to connect the dots inside. Inhale. Exhale, release your right hand, walk the fingertips of the left hand back towards the ear, and then reach up to the sky, and then come on down with that left arm. You can reach for your block if you have it nearby, and we're going to do a spa bridge. So bringing, again, that nice fluidity to our spine. If you don't have the block, you can always just take a bridge, no problem. Let's take the feet and make those nice big footprints on the mat, bend the knees. And then inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, lightly on that inhale, feeling that inflated sense of floating upward. And then guide your sacrum back down to the block. And just feel that release on your lower back as you're able to rest in our spa bridge. Take the arms next to the body, feel the shoulder blades coming together and the shoulder sockets roll away from the body. Great. And then take the right leg long and the left leg long. And now you can stand down on your feet as if you were standing on a surface. And just notice that feeling of engagement along the legs, and then flop the feet out to the side and maybe shift a millimeter or so to make it comfortable. The pelvis is able to just ease onto that block, and you can feel those hip bones just facing up towards the sky. And you can take the fingertips even to those hip bones and gently massage outward. Following your breath. Nice. So we're just getting some more, maybe there's some stuck points in the pelvis here, just giving it a teeny bit more flexibility along those hip bones. Great. And now bring the arms to your side, bend one knee and then the other, bring the footprint back to the mat. Inhale the right knee towards the chest, circle your ankle in both directions. Hold the back of your thigh and then bring the sole of the foot up towards the sky into our half happy baby. And settle in on that block, however your body tells you it feels right, then it is. Bring the right knee towards the right armpit. Inhale, notice that breath, fill the belly. Exhale, we'll take if you want to straighten out your left leg and stand on that imaginary surface with the left foot, you can do that here or leave your knee bent, whatever your body is more comfortable with. Taking this half happy baby, whatever reach you want to the ankle or the foot. Long exhale for a release into that hip. More socket attention here. We've got our shoulder sockets now, the hip socket. Bend the left knee, place that footprint on the mat, and then rise up with that right leg nice and straight, reaching towards the sky. Hold the back of the thigh and just feel that stretch in your hamstring. Feel free to bend and straighten here, just giving a little hint to those hamstrings to release. Preparing for a downward dog, maybe a little more comfortable downward dog as later in the practice. And then bring that foot down to the floor. Inhale the left knee towards the chest. Hold the back of the thigh. Circle your ankle. Again, fill the belly with breath. Exhaling long, so your next inhale can be nice and nourishing and bringing the left foot up towards the sky in our half happy baby. Holding on to the left ankle or the foot or the thigh, whatever you want, but that left foot knee coming towards the left armpit. Suggestion here, if you exhale, you can try to straighten out your right leg, but if you keep that foot on an imaginary surface, you'll feel that muscles of the legs engage more. You might not get your heel to the floor, or you might not be able to straighten the leg all the way, and that's okay. It's just a sign of more of the tissues that need to be guided into stretching in our half happy baby. And then bend the right knee, bring that footprint to the mat, and then the left leg comes up towards the sky. Hold the back of the thigh as we're supported in our sacrum on that block. Bend and straighten the leg. Cradling our thigh so we can just know what our limits are in those hamstrings. Nice. Now bring the left foot to the floor, and then we'll try to get some nice square hips as we take both knees up towards the sky and both feet in our balanced candlestick legs. Take the full length of your arms to the mat and roll those shoulders down towards the mat again. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you press the entire length of the arm onto the mat. Inhale, reach the heels towards the sky. Exhale, let's take those legs out into a V shape and then back again. A few rotations here, following your breath. Noticing our deep lower abdominals supporting the flow. Nice. And then bring those candlestick legs back, point and flex each leg at a time, tiptoeing along the clouds. And just see if you can point as much as possible and then flex. Feeling the familiarity of all those tiny muscles in the foot that work so hard, taking gravity off of them for a moment. Their usual position. Bend the knees towards the chest, ease both legs down, and then lift the hips up and the block from underneath you, and just lay out on your back. Find your breath again, and notice the difference that your legs feel if there's some energy coursing through them, a little buzz. the warmth that you have created with your own alchemy in the body. And now easy transition here as we roll over onto our bellies. And we'll come over onto the belly with the forehead on the mat. Hands, palms come down next to the shoulders. Rest that third eye. As you take those elbows near the ribs, just feel a release out of the third eye. If you've brought any just physical tension, but then also mental tension with you, inhale into the whole body. Exhale with your whole body and see if you can just let go of some of that flurry of mental clutter. Now take your mind's eye to the tops of your feet down at the bottom of the mat and press those tops of the feet, spread the toes and push them into the mat. Enliven the whole legs and then point the tailbone towards the heels. And you probably guessed it, we're going up into cobra. So feel the pull of your hands towards the heels and then peel yourself up, reaching long through the crown of the head into that baby cobra and then back down again. Inhale 3 times. This is excellent for some compression issues in the lower back. Come back. The length here is our goal. Inhale, pull back. Keeping that tailbone pointed, lengthening in the low back, and then down. So now we'll take a spider cobra. So we're going to walk the hands out about 6 inches away from the body, and we're going to take the spider fingertips again, like we did earlier, and then bring the elbows up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, so that the arms are in a right angle, the upper arm and the lower arm. You just keep the forehead on the mat for right now, just finding that space. Take the fingertips out wider if you'd like and keep the thumbs towards the body, just seeing if we can broaden across the collarbones. So let's bring the mind's eye to the bottom of the body, so to the feet down at the bottom, and press those toenails into the mat. Inhale as you continue to point the tailbone and lift the head up off the mat, keeping that angle with your hands and your arms, cradling the heart, and then down again. We'll take that same trip 2 more times, inhaling. Make sure to point that tailbone down so we engage those glutes and keep lengthening like a cobra towards in the grass, just really reaching up through your spine, that serpentine spine. Exhale down, release the hands, arms next to the side, take one ear to the mat. And settle with your exhale. You can sigh it out. Inhale, exhale, a big sigh of release. Rock your hips side to side. Great. And then bring the forehead to the mat again. Lift up slightly as you slide the palms next to the shoulders, and then slide the forearms to the mat, keeping the elbows and the shoulders at the same height. At the same level. And then you're going to take that tailbone, press those tops of the feet in again. Press the tailbone, not pressing the tailbone, but guiding the tailbone so it points towards your heels. And then with your heart, that sense of the heart looking forward. See if you can peel yourself up and bring the heart looking forward. You can look down at first and then bring the gaze towards the top of the mat. If this bothers your low back, I want you to come down to more of a diagonal. But the idea here is to lengthen on your inhale, and on your exhale, curl up a little bit more. We're broadening across the collarbones. We're not curving in the low back as much as the upper back into our wise sphinx. Feel this should allow freedom in the upper back and also just steadiness in the low back. Now let's take ourselves on an exhale down to a diagonal. Use your forearms as support to bring ourselves up into a forearm to our tabletop. Great, so we've got forearms supporting us, elbows and shoulders still aligned. We're just gonna do a nice Again, we're really unrounding ourselves today. So take the shoulder blades, awareness to the shoulder blades, and separate the shoulder blades, which will cause that back of the heart to come up, puff up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, let's squeeze the shoulder blades together and notice that sternum just automatically melts towards the mat. Steady your gaze and then try that again. Inhale. Exhale. Find some flexibility there in that often stuck part of our spine. Inhale. That mid between the shoulder blades. Continue this up and down. Nice. And then come on up to all fours as we transition to a down dog. But I'd like to suggest that you take the block and place the block between your thighs as you come into all fours, allowing the knees still to be hip width apart. The setting on the block will depend on the width of our hips. So just whatever setting allows you to stay hip width apart. Briefly in all fours here, tuck that nice navel towards the spine so we engage those core muscles. Squeeze down towards your rib cage with the shoulders, and then curl the toes under and lift up into down dog, squeezing the block. I'm going to change that setting. Okay, now gently squeeze the block. It's not super hard. It's just a sense of awareness of that nice line down the middle of the legs, keeping you centered. Push away with the hands while you bring those shoulders away from the ears. Can you feel that length as you reach your tailbone towards the corner of the room, up into that diagonal corner? See if you can ease those heels towards the mat. And already we're going to go up and down with the heels. You don't have to force yourself down to the mat. Just find your comfort zone. Tiptoes and then down. And now bend the knees, walk the hands to the feet, hang the head down, just feeling that bat in a cave hanging down. Inhale, feel the back body inflate. Exhale, drop the head, and then take our spider hands once again. Inhale into a flat back, feeling that support of your fingertips, the roots of the fingertips, the full footprint, bend the knees. Great, and then grab the block. And on our way up, we'll hinge up at the hips and keep that block in your hand, okay, as we come up. Beautiful. So we're going to use our block as our, just as a compass or some kind of a arrow today. So take the block, come to the bottom of your mat into mountain pose. Take the block in the left hand. Actually, let's start with it in the right hand so I can show it. Mountain pose. Nice tall spine. Find that plumb line from the crown of the head down through the middle of the body, out of the pelvis, in between all the length of the legs, down in between the feet. You can find that anytime you feel unstable. Inhale, and exhale, let's walk the left foot forward. Great, and we're going to take that stance, preparing us, which normally would be for warrior one. So we're going to take the left fingertips pointing to the top of the mat. Find the width of stance that's comfortable for you to have that back foot at an angle about 30 degrees. Great. So the hips here are going to be pointing towards the top of the mat. So we want to guide those hip bones this time towards the top of the mat. If you hear any background noise right now, I apologize. There's some strange works going on in this apartment. Inhale the arms, right arm up towards the sky, using that block above you just as a like a torch. You're above the head like our Statue of Liberty back in the US. Let's take the left hand to the top of the left thigh and just gently feel that guiding hand as you try to even the hips out. Reach up. You can feel the length of your right side as you inhale. Look up at the block. Great. And feel that length. Okay, let's keep that length as we hinge right where the left hand is at the top of the left thigh. Reach, reach, reach. Keep the reach forward as you press into that left thigh. Reach. And when you've If you're not comfortable with the full forward bend, you can keep this at an angle or exhale your block down to the mat. Micro bend your front knee. So we're in our pyramid pose here. Take your fingertips to the top of that block or your hand, whatever works for you. And again, keeping that left hand on the left thigh, finding square hips and reaching the crown of the head long. We don't want to bunch forward or hunch forward. We want to find length. Inhale, exhale, find the bend that's comfortable for you here in this pyramid pose. Beautiful. Now we're going to come forward. So take that block in your hand, in that right hand, bend your left knee, come on up and come back up to vertical, and then walk forward to our mountain pose. We're facing the top of the mat. At this point, you can take the block and place it to the side momentarily. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Left arm grabs right wrist and the right foot, trace that line behind the left foot and stand strong on your right foot. And find that place behind you that allows us to take a long line from our right foot all the way up the right side of the body and bend over towards your left. Each inhale expands the ribs a little more. Each exhale takes this side bend a little further. Stepping through that right foot will really feel the roots there, will really allow the stretch to expand even more. Keep the gaze soft. And then the next inhale brings you back up. Sweep the arms next to the body. And we'll try it to the other side. Stand strong through the right foot. Trace that line behind you to the left foot. I think we started with the arms on the other side. Sorry. Let's do it the opposite, the feet. Left foot behind you. Stand strong on the left side. Inhale, the arms up, and the right arm guides that left wrist, and we lean over to the right. Notice the subtle changes that we make with each inhale and each exhale. Really is a chemical transformation. And then come on back up. Sweep the arms down, and we'll just turn ourselves around to the other side of the mat. Okay, here we are in mountain pose again. On this side, we're going to come forward into warrior one and try flying forward into warrior three. Step forward with the same, with the right foot this time, but it's the same stance, that warrior one stance with the hips forward. Inhale, hands on hips. Exhale, let's begin to bend that right knee, keeping our quads engaged, keeping the knee behind the middle toes. And now let's find those hips, see how forward they can face in our warrior one. Keeping those hips, just guide the hips with your hands gently. Inhale the arms above the head. Prayer position, look up if you can. And then bring the gaze softly forward. Sweep the arms out into a full wingspan. We'll take the back toes under and then see if we can bring ourselves straightening the front leg into our familiar by now warrior three. Or balancing stick with the arms next to the head and just reaching the body into a diagonal. Whatever way you want to fly, keeping those hips as square as you can. And the front knee nice and aligned. And then bring yourself up to mountain pose to that side of the mat. Find your mountain. Oh, I think I messed up my little thing here, but we'll do this for mountain. Great. Inhale, exhale, step that left foot back again. And then inhale the arms above the head. Exhale, bend the front knee, coming into our brief warrior one before we take our wingspan back and take the hands around the front foot to a low lunge. I apologize for that, folks. Come into this low lunge, square the hips. Probably has something to do with the background noise here. Lose my concentration. Okay, bring the hands, peel back that energy towards the bottom of the mat and reach through that back heel. So you really feel the length on the left side. Great. Low lunge, exhale, bring ourselves into a twist here. So on the left hand is your nice anchor there as you turn the sternum towards the right knee and then reach up towards the sky. Inhale, feel the broadened collarbones. Exhale, bring the right hand back down to the mat. Knee comes down in the back, top of the foot, and then draw your right knee back. Big toes together, knees wide apart, and then hips back into child's. Inhale. Exhale. Notice anything in the body. Take this time to check in. If anything's not feeling right, or if something feeling a little pinchy or anything like that, adjust please on your other side. Make sure to nourish and nurture. And then curl up through a cat pose, up to all fours. Take that block again. We're going to place it in between the thighs, but we're facing the other way on our mat. Curl the toes under into down dog. And just notice this down dog again. Just, if you want to close the eyes so that we can bring that awareness into the body, that can help here. Visit that tailbone and see if it can reach a little further towards that diagonal corner of the room. Downward dog. Bend the knees and walk the hands back towards the feet. Hang the head down. Feel that lovely release in the neck. Squeezing that block, taking the ribs to the thighs. We're going to take spider hands again. Inhale into a flat back. Pull back with those hands. You can remove the block now. And then hang on to the block as you hinge up at that hip point. Come on back up. This time the block will be in your left hand and you're facing the other way on the mat. Mountain pose, inhale. Exhale, step forward with the right foot. Find our warrior one stance. Again, the width may be different on both sides for your comfort zone, but it's your individual path. Inhale, the left arm and that block up towards the sky. So we already can feel that root of the left foot in the back and then the length on the left side. Take the right hand to the front thigh, to the right thigh, and keep that guided hand there as you look up at that block. Inhale, reaching towards the clouds and blue sky, and then keep that length as you reach forward with the block, keeping that hand on the front thigh as a guide, and bring the block down to the mat. And feel that lengthening of your spine growing out of that pelvis. Inhaling, exhale, draw the feet together. Pyramid pose. Nice and long. And this should be a therapeutic bend for those hamstrings. Now we're going to go forward, so you can even micro bend your front knee. Feel free to do that as you fold up, grab the block, and then tiptoe that left foot forward into mountain pose. Turn around. And we'll take to the other side with our warriors. So take that block and put it down. Take this other side at the bottom of the mat. And then we'll inhale, grow tall through mountain. Exhale, hands on hips, step the opposite forward, which I believe is the left, right? Yes, the left. And then as you exhale, begin to bend the front leg, that front knee, dropping the hips, guiding the hips forward and the tailbone down. Beautiful base for the feet here. And then inhale the arms above the head. Prayer position, pressing together, looking up. Feeling the broadening of our collarbones still. And then the soft gaze comes forward, wings span out, or keep those arms next to the ears as you tiptoe forward, straighten the front leg. And we're going to end up in our balance stick or warrior 3. Goodness, sorry about that. And reach, inhale. Noticing what the inhale and the exhale do for you. If you held your breath, it just would not be as full, as beneficial. Play with the arms, micro bend that, or actually micro bend the front foot as you reach back to our warrior 1 again. Inhale the arms above the head. Exhale, swan dive down around the front foot, both hands on either side of that front foot. We're transitioning to a low lunge. Curl the back toes under and draw the energy back with your hands towards the back of the mat into our low, long lunge. Dropping into your left hip. Runner's lunge. Ready for takeoff. And then at that point of buoyancy, inhale and exhale your back knee down. Top of the foot on the mat, and then draw the left knee back. Widen those knees. Back to child's. Arms long next to the ears. And then let's curl this child's pose inward. So we sweep the arms out into a wingspan, down, bring the arms next to the body, hands towards the hips. See if you can bring those knees close together. Take the hands and help yourself in so you can bring those knees in, and then we're curling in. So this is a more closed child's pose. Again, if this doesn't work for you to do this in child's, you can be on your back and just hug the knees. But feel, if you're in child's, in this very quiet internal child's, that you can feel the drop of the energy out of the crown of out of the third eye, and then also the drop of the shoulders. Just relax everything. Inhale, feel the wave of that inhale all the way down your spine. Exhale. So this is child. Since we were talking about nurturing and nourishment, really revel in this quiet child's pose. Feel cared for. Inhale. Exhale. And your next inhale, we're lift up, and we're going to transition onto our backs. Wonderful. Find those beautiful footprint on the floor as we started in our spa bridge. Find that sacrum in the back of the skull, that beautiful connection between that long and intricate spine. And then inhale the knees towards the chest, grab the back of the thighs, hug the knees, find the sacrum planted on the mat, hug it again. And then bring the soles of the feet up towards the sky as you guide the knees out towards the armpits. Hold the ankles or the sides of the feet. Rock side to side. Rock out the baby. Cradle this happy baby. We want to further cradle our hips. We can take the feet together, hold on to the ankles, butterfly out the knees, and then return to happy baby. More oxygen for those hips. And then rock side to side, another moment here. Allow the feet to drop to the floor. Take the knees together. Roll over onto your right side. I'm going to turn the other way. Drape the arms out in front of the shoulders, and with your left hand, grab an imaginary piece of chalk for the sidewalk and draw a rainbow along the floor. As you watch your hands draw that rainbow, the shoulder might reach its limit here, and that's okay. So bring that arc shape back to the right hand. No force. Each time you draw the arc, you might draw a little further or just come back to the other hand. This gently opens the mid and upper back into a twist, which can be very beneficial for some stuck muscles and stuck points. Just to do this gradually. Maybe you get to a full rainbow, or maybe not. You'll notice each side is different. And as you reach over towards your left, we're gonna have the left hand tracing that line. Try to see if you can keep your knees together and the pelvis steady. One more time. Oh, each time is just kind of a little more delicious. Let's roll over onto our other side, left side. This time, right arm's on top of left. And it's that right hand that grabs your favorite color. And then draw that line above your head till you reach that limit. Okay, so don't push like on this side, I'm a lot tighter, so I just don't do the full arc. But keeping contact with the floor is great. And then looking at your fingers as they do that also brings some nice oxygenation to the neck. How many times does it take to really find deep release? Well, that's to each person, right? But this is a great pose I also recommend at the end of the day. Whatever, you can even multitask this with perhaps watching a show or something, just to do this to really get that mid back opened up. And then slowly bring that rainbow down to hands together. And then roll over onto your back. Take the knees together, the feet wide apart, one hand on heart, one hand on the belly. Close the eyes and take an internal tour. Breathing into your hands. Feel the sense of caring for yourself through this movement. Through this meditation, celebrating the union of mind, body, and spirit. Follow your inhale and your exhale as you allow the right arm to drape out to the side, the left arm out to the side, palms up. Another inhale and exhale. Allow the right leg long and the left leg long. Feel the length of the body, the shape of your body on the mat, on the soil below us, on the earth, the planet, etc., etc. Coming back to a celebratory inhale, caretaking. Exhaling through all the way down the arms and the legs to the fingertips, the toes. You're cared for. You've nourished yourself. And the breath constantly nourishes you. Your next 3 breaths, inhale with your whole body and exhale with the whole body. 2 more times. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bend the knees and the elbows. Roll over onto your right side, away from your heart. Guiding yourself up to a seated position. Allowing the head to gently rise last. Let's take the hands in prayer position in front of the heart. And now point the fingertips down towards the floor. Bring the back of the hands together. Roll the hands out into our lotus mudra. Bring back in towards your body, whatever you'd like to bring back. Trace that line with the back of the hands together down the middle. And then back to prayer position. Now place the hands over the heart like bird wings. Breathe into your palms. Exhale, bring the hands in prayer position. I thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Always so wonderful to connect with you across the world. Namaste.